served as Secretary of the Senate under President Lincoln during the Civil War. Although I was born in 1860, I have no memory of the Civil War, only the great celebrations when it ended. My father was Seth W. Smith. He was a lawyer here in Calais, and he had a small law office right on our property. When I was a little girl, I loved to run to Papa's office and visit him for a little while, and sure enough, after a few minutes, he would tell me to run along and play, and I would do so very happily. We called our house Lilac Cottage because of the lovely lilac hedges that surrounded the property. We had Victorian furniture and statuary on the lawn. There was an iron settee and a chair, a stag with antlers, and even a dog lying down. You know, when I passed away, all those things were still on the lawn, and in fact, during my lifetime, the house had changed very little, and I lived to be 90 years old. Now let me get on with the rest of my story. My father had a brother, Robert. He was also born in Calais and was married here, but then later he moved away. His daughter, my cousin, was rather a well-known author. Her name was Kate Douglas Wiggin, and she wrote several books, one being Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm. You've probably heard of it, I think most people have. She wrote several other books as well. One of my favorites I have right here somewhere. Oh yes, it's called Bird's Christmas Carol. Bird is the name of the family in the story. It's a very sad story. Carol Bird passes away on Christmas Eve of all things. It was one of my favorites and I loved to read it, even though I cried every time. Now I think I ought to tell you about my husband, Dr. Mason. I was 17 years old when I met him, and I think I fell in love with him from the moment I saw him. He was the new young doctor in town, and all the other young ladies were extremely interested in him as well, but they were properly modest about it, I must say. He had just graduated from Boston University. Good heavens, Boston University Medical School in 1877, my goodness. Well, we were married even though I was only 17 years old, and I became Mrs. Herbert Mason. It was rather a thrilling time for me, I must say. We moved into the family home, and in time we had 3 children, Seth, Carl, and Herbert. Herbert's middle name was Whitney. We called him Whit. He was the last member of our family to live in the house. Well, during my lifetime, I was always very active in various organizations in the city. I belonged to the Women's City Club, the Park Society, and I loved music, and I was a member of the St. Croix branch of the Maine Festival Chorus. But I think probably the thing I am most proud of is my involvement in putting up the Civil War Memorial in Memorial Park. You know, back in the 1880s and 90s, the idea of putting up a monument to honor the boys that had fought and died in the Civil War was in the air everywhere. Every town was putting up a monument, and Calais was no different. But I'm proud to tell you that here in Calais, it was the ladies that did this. Yes, it was the women of Calais that raised the money and put up that beautiful monument in Memorial Park. We began by establishing the Ladies Memorial Society and set about raising money any way we could. We had dinners and dances, masquerade balls, suppers and fairs, pie auctions, and every year we had a 4th of July dinner, and all that money went towards the raising for the monument. After 10 years, we had raised about $3,000. We even had a float in the 4th of July parade one year, and had a model of the monument built of wood, and we mounted it on a lumber wagon. Then we got Eddie Ryan to dress up in an army uniform. We got on top of the wooden monument to be the statue. I must say it was quite a sight. We had to be sure there was a good solid wooden post for him to hold on to, because the roads were a bit rough, and we were afraid the wagon would hit a bump and he would go flying off. We had a lot of fun that year, and we even won first prize, so we donated the prize money to the fund. However, despite all our hard work, we came up short. We only had $3,000 and we needed $5,000. So another committee was formed to raise the rest of the money, which it did. It was about this time that Deacon Samuel Kelly had died and left his property on Main Street to the city, and it was decided that this is where Memorial Park would be created. The bronze statue on top of the monument was a stock figure, which we bought, but we wanted the granite work to be substantial enough to truly glorify the monument, and I believe it does. You know, we should all be very proud that the granite work was done right here in our own city. The big slab of granite that forms the base came from a huge boulder found in John Noble's yard down on the river road and brought up in a heavy cart. Let me tell you, it was no small feat to get that huge piece of granite across the sidewalk and over the stone wall that went around Deacon Kelly's property at the time, and then haul it up onto the mound where the monument sits. Much of the rest of the granite came from Beaver Lake. Its beautiful proportions are the work of Oliver Tarbox and his master granite workers. When I think about the work they did, I'm always reminded of something Mr. Henry Longfellow, the poet, wrote. For his heart was in his work, and the heart giveth grace unto every art. I believe this certainly is true of our beautiful Civil War monument. Well, we had a big dedication ceremony and an unveiling. Streets were jammed with people and carriages. There was a procession and speeches and music. It was a grand dedication. One of the highlights was a resuscitation of an ode written especially for the occasion by Anna Holmes, Dr. Holmes' daughter. It was recited by her niece, Miss Josephine Moore. Frank Holmes was one of our Calais boys killed in the war, so I expect the whole occasion was especially poignant for their family and for many others. You know, Anna's poem was so lovely, the words have stayed with me all these years. It's almost as if I could hear young Josephine Moore reciting that poem.
Welcome, thou laggard spring, late hastening to fling, a sudden glory on this northern shore. Again with wonder fraught, thy miracle is wrought, the dead earth quickens, and life floods in once more. O budding springtime sweet, we too arise and greet thy coming footsteps with a hope newborn. After the struggle, peace. After the long pain, release. And out of the blackest night blossoms the rose of dawn. No call to combat rude summons the multitude, slow gathering where the flag serenely waves. Upon the silent air is fragrance everywhere, of flowers drop softly on beloved graves. O memory, touch tenderly our hearts today. Let the long vanished years smile through a mist that is not wholly tears. Bright with a golden glow, the days of long ago leap suddenly to life. Again the street is all astir with eager hurrying feet. We hear the fife's shrill call, the murmuring hum of many voices, while with beating drum and steady tramp the marching soldiers come. O brave young champions, smiling unafraid, O true hearts on your country's altar laid, a million hands the laurel wreath shall bring, but we, in the old home late blossoming, come softly, bringing flowers, so to express all that our hearts contain of love and tenderness. O granite gray, stand forth today, tell all the gathered throng that love and honor shall eternally belong to these and such as they. Tell all they fought to win, a flag to float whose fluttering fold can make the tiniest boat that sails the sea in violet, no more to wave its mocking splendor over the hunted slave, a nation broad and free as the encircling sea, yet not to be divided, one perpetually. Speak to these youths and maids, whose happy eyes know not the terror of a war's surprise. Bid them come hither, come with reverent feet. Tell them love is more dear and life more sweet, because these men have died. Speak thou for us today, tell all we cannot say, granite gray. Heart of the northern hills, thy silent presence thrills, like some clear note from silver bugle blown, a herald of good cheer, proclaiming joy, not fear, telling of blessed peace and warfare done. And so we are glad, not sad, well knowing, within our veins the selfsame blood is flowing, that fired our soldiers to the battle going. And so we are well assured, beloved country, shouldst thou speak the word,